In this video, we're going to look at negative and fractional indices. We're going to start with negative indices. As you can see, you've got the rule in the box, and it states that when you raise a number to a negative power, first you need to write this number as a reciprocal and then apply the power without the minus. So let's have a look at some example. I've got 2 to the power of minus 3. First, I need to write the reciprocal of 2, which is 1 over 2, and now apply the power without the minus, so that is simply 3. Now, I need to work out what 2 to the power of 3 or 2 cubed is, and that is 8, so the answer will be 1 over 8. For the next question, 10 to the power of minus 3, first I write the reciprocal, which is 1 over 10, and then I still need to apply the power, which is to the power of 3. Now, 1 to the power of 3 is 1,000. Okay, so that answer will be 1 over 1,000. In the last example, I've got a fraction. Okay, the reciprocal of this fraction would be 4 over 3. So you just flip the fraction. So the numerator becomes the denominator, and then the denominator becomes the numerator. And now I still need to apply the power, but remember that it's going to be positive now. And remember that the cube applies to both the numerator and the denominator. So 4 cubed, okay, that means 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And 3 cubed, that means 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Let's have a look at some more examples. 3 to the power of negative 2. Okay, first I need to write the reciprocal, which is 1 over 3, and now apply the power, which is 2, so that is 1 over 9, because 3 squared is 9. For the next question, 8 to the power of minus 2, I write the reciprocal first, which is 1 over 8, and I still need to write the power of 2, and that is 1 over 64. In question C, 4 to the power of minus 3, I write the reciprocal first, which is 1 over 4, and then still to the power of 3, and that is 1 over 64, because 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. In the next question, 5 to the power of minus 3, I write the reciprocal, which is 1 over 5, and then to the power of 3, and that is 1 over 125. In the next questions, I've got a fraction. Okay, so to write down the reciprocal, I flip the fraction. So now I have 8 over 3. Okay, and all of that to the power of 1, which simply is 8 over 3. In the next question, I've got 2 over 7 to the power of minus 2. So now I have the reciprocal, which is 7 over 2, and then all of that to the power of 2. So that is 49 over 4. In the next question, the reciprocal will be 5 over 3 to the power of 3. And 5 to the power of 3 is 125. And 3 to the power of 3 is 27. In the last example here, the reciprocal will be 3 over 2. Okay, and the whole fraction cubed. Okay, so 3 cubed is 27, 2 cubed is 8. Now let's have a look at some fractional indices. The rule states that when you raise a to the power of 1 over n, that is equivalent or equal to nth root of a. Let's have a look at some examples to see how it actually works. So when I have 49 to the power of a half, now a power of a half is equivalent to square root, okay, of 49 in this case, and square root of 49 is 7. In the next example, I have a power of a third. Okay, so I have 125 to a power of a third, and a power of a third is equivalent to cube root. Okay, so I need to work out cube root of 125, and that is 5. In the next example, I've got a quarter. Okay, and now a quarter is equivalent to fourth root. Okay, so I have fourth root of 81, and that is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. Okay, and hopefully you can see a pattern now. So when I have a power of a fifth, okay, that would be a fifth root of 32, which is 2. Now let's have a look at a couple of more complex examples. In the first one, I've got a to the power of 2/3, and we don't have an equivalent root to the power of 2/3. So we need to split this power so we can apply the roots that we know. So that will be a to the power of a third and then to the power of 2. Now I can do that because remember that when I have a number raised to one power and then raised to another power, that means I can multiply the two powers. So a third times 2 is 2/3. So we have the same value, just written in a different form. Now a third, the power of a third, can be written as cube root of 8. Okay, and that is still squared. So that is 2 squared, which is equal to 4. In the next example, I've got a quarter to the power of 3 over 2. Again, the power of 3 over 2 needs to be split into the powers that we can use. So for example, a half and the power of 3. So I've got a quarter, and now I can raise it to the power of a half, and then to the power of 3. Now a power of a half is the same as square root, and then remember I still have to cube it. Now when I square root a quarter, I get a half, and I still need to cube it, so that's going to be 1 over